As an osteopath, I see a lot of people with upper back pain. Most of the time is musculoskeletal. A lot of this can be attributed by the way that you move throughout the day. Maybe you're an office worker or a driver, someone who sits a lot or even stands a lot. The point is, the muscles in your upper back tend not to get much movement through them. The more movement you have, the looser your muscles are going to be and the healthier they're going to be. For people who are in one position for a lot of the day, whether that's lying down, sitting or standing, those muscles become set into a certain place. They become harder and less flexible and less healthy. So one of the simple solutions for upper back pain is to move more and stretch more. Ultimately then, once the pain starts to come down, it's then about strengthening those muscles too. For now, we're going to work on using the peanut to try and release some of that tension in the upper back. And then I'm going to show you a couple of really simple exercises you can do anywhere, whether you're sitting at work or at home. So grab your peanut and we're going to work into the upper back. So position the peanut sort of at the top of your back, lie down on the floor. You can do this on the wall as well, and I'll show you how to do this on the wall in a minute. So I've just rolled the peanut a little bit further down my spine, just so it saves it from slipping out. The good thing about the peanut is that it's really nice rubber, so it will grip to the floor even if it's quite slippy. So from here, I'm just going to bring my hands behind my head just to support my neck, and then roll along the peanut, working into those tight muscles in my upper back, and then working down. When you position the peanut, make sure the spinal groove, that bit in the middle, is in line with your spine. That way you're not putting too much pressure on your spine, so you're not going to bruise the bone. So you're here, roll down and roll up. Maybe do 5 of these. Once you've done 5, find those tight points within your back and then try and just fold over the peanut. So working into extension and coming up into flexion. So coming down into extension, try to stretch out those joints and going back up. Once you've done that a few times, you can roll a little bit higher. So the roll is coming lower down your spine, and again fold over and up. When you find those tight points, what you can do is start to move more laterally. So come down onto the peanut, make sure you're lined up on the peanut so your spine is in that groove. For this one, I'm just going to have my hands across my chest and then bend to the side and then bend to the other side. And for this, you could do maybe 5 on each side. Just depends on how you feel. And you can do that all the way along your thoracic spine. I'm going to show you now how we can do this on the wall, just in case you find doing it on the floor is too intense. So to use the peanut for your upper back, you can position it just at the top of your spine. Now, this is where it can get a bit tricky to get into position. So I would then lean forward so that it's in the right place. From here, you can take your feet further away from the wall. The more you take your feet further away from the wall, the more pressure you can have leaning against the peanut. From here, you can use your legs to bend and straighten, so it helps you adjust where that peanut is going to go. So from here, you can go up and down. Then you can try and go side to side. And then you can even try and work flexion and extension through your upper back. Once you've done that, you might find you need to adjust the peanut. So I would then put my hips against the wall, lean forward and let it just roll down my spine, just a little bit. Then reset, take my hips away from the wall, feet out in front of me, and then continue. So go up and down. And you can do this all the way down your spine, working each different part of your thoracic spine. So using your legs, bending your legs to go down and straightening them to come back up. And then coming into lateral movement, and then coming into flexion and extension. So now that we've used the peanut to try and loosen up some of the muscles in the upper back, I'm going to show you some very simple exercises that you can do anywhere. So as long as you can find a chair, sit down on the floor, or a chair, doesn't matter. Cross your arms over in front of you, sit up nice and tall, and then try and actively twist one way and then the other way. Just trying to actively get as much rotation as you can either direction. So I would do 10 totals, that'd be 5 on each side. Then from here, come back into neutral position and bend to the side. As far as you can one way, and then as far as you can the other way. I would do about 5 to 10 on each side of this as well. And then an exercise I really like to do with my patients is get them to bring their hands behind their neck, try and bring their elbows together to touch. Doesn't matter if you can't, but if you try and squeeze, and that really helps. From here, you can do the same thing. You can rotate side to side, always trying to squeeze your elbows together. So you can do that side to side. You can do it side to side like this. But the main one is to come down as far as you can and up, lifting up your elbows as much as you can and down. And I would do about 5 to 10 of each of those directions. If you've already done this, then you don't necessarily need to do it with your elbows here. But the one that is really useful to do is this one, up and down. So 5 to 10 of each of those directions. You can do that daily. The more you do, the more likely you are to maybe aggravate things. So I would suggest every other day to begin with, just to make sure your body is okay with them. But the more you move and the more you start to break down some of those tight fibers within your back, the better your back is likely to start getting better.